Yo, what's up? We back. Another episode, Relax and Take Notes. Mike Pace, K Dub, the homie Quinn. What's happening, fella?
What's good with
Go Frogs.
Hey, they went all right. They went all
you? Oh
right.
Jesus,
They went. You
Bruh.
know what I'm saying? Hey,
Bruh.
go. Look, first, go dogs, man. Let me give my dogs a proper salute. You understand? Back to back. Man, listen. Hey.
Mike happy as hell.
Hey, listen,
Look
man.
at
I
him.
don't even know if that do it justice, Kevin. I ain't even gonna lie, bro.
Look at them cheeks.
Hey, yo, man, listen. So now y'all know we had our little score predictions, and everything.
Yeah,
And I thought, I said, you know what, Kevin and Quinn probably right. They probably will get them by a little more than I said. I said, because I thought about what y'all was saying. The talent will probably start away in the fourth quarter. Like what you said, Quinn, it'll be all right first quarter. Say,
Whatever I said was a
man.
lie.
I mean it kind of was for about 8 minutes.
Yeah, eight clock
Yeah.
minutes. It wasn't 8 game minutes.
Dog,
Because it was what 10-7, and it
10-7,
oh
and
Jesus.
the bottom fell out, bro.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the turning point when I saw Max Duggan when he missed Quentin Johnson on that deep crosser route.
On that first drive.
Yes, I think it was a post.
He threw
He
it,
missed.
and it was like
He had him because
he
he
had him.
didn't lead him. He threw it behind him, and it was over with after that.
Yeah, that would just made it 65-14.
Yep, it was over.
Man, so, and of course now listen, I'm happy, you know what I mean? And hey, as a fan, hey, I've been on the other side way too long. So listen, you know what I'm saying?
I just won it last year. Shut up.
Man, listen, bro. One out of Quinn.
Mike said one ain't enough.
After all that time,
you get like me, now ain't greedy. Look at it.
Hey, listen, Quinn. Hey, look, we ain't ate in a long time.
Greedy now.
Hey, look, so but shout out to Stetson, MVP, Javon Bullock, which I figured, I thought he would be able to make a lot of plays to get the MVP. I didn't know he was gonna do all that, but he did all that and didn't even play the second half. But
well, they was eating chicken wings in the second half, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. So, but just like, so I saw a lot of different takes, right? I saw people saying that's why Alabama should have been in. I saw people saying like TCU shouldn't have been there. I saw like just I mean, do y'all? I think Georgia a better team than them, but I don't know if they 65-7 better than them.
Yes, Mike. Yes, they are. So the reason why I say they are
65-7, Quinn.
The reason why I feel like that is a good depiction of the disparity between those two teams is because it wasn't no craziness happening. It wasn't no flukes happening. It was just football. And one team was just clearly better than the other. I think that was a true depiction of the difference between those two teams.
Yeah, so that's what happens when the best teams are motivated. They show you the difference between a team that's got what 14,
17,
4 stars, and
17.
a team that's got 30, 40, 4, 5 stars. Like there's a difference, but this is a different level.
Yeah,
like I said, the reason I thought they would beat them by at least 17 is, for one, Georgia is top 3 in recruiting every year, first of all. But that talent don't make mistakes. When you don't make mistakes and you're that talented, it's hard enough for anybody to beat you, let alone a team who is nowhere near as talented as you.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I guarantee you, them players, how good they felt to even beat them, because they got outplayed in that Ohio State game. They did up until that fourth quarter.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I guarantee you, if they would have beat Ohio State comfortably, that score probably would have been somewhere like maybe 45-17 or something like that. It'd still been bad.
Okay.
But they got there when I guarantee you, someone felt like they shouldn't have been there because they was losing that whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Kirby played that up the whole week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that pregame speech, I heard that I want to go play for Georgia.
I swear I want to go play. but I feel you. So that's kind of like to Kevin's point, he said they was motivated.
Yeah.
I feel you. Because you know what? I think you put it best. Like, had they beat Ohio State by maybe 10, 13 points, or, just beat them and not struggle in the way they struggled defensively, the hiccups, kind of some of them offensively or whatever, then, like you said, it probably would have been 45, whatever. But, to both of y'all point, like you say, and like Kevin said, they was motivated. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, they dominated. And to be honest, and not trying to, but without the busted coverage, they might not have got that 7.
Oh, they wouldn't score.
I wouldn't.
Without that.
See, like my thing is, like, I don't have an issue. Like, everybody, I'm an Alabama fan, but I don't think Bama should have been in. Like, I think they got it right in terms of look at Quinn. The teams that should have been there. I think they got that right.
Right.
The issue I have is y'all trying to separate Ohio State and Michigan. For what reason? Because you think if you get Ohio State and Michigan in the championship game, it's going to be a moneymaker? Is that why you separating them? Because truth be told, it should have been TCU versus Georgia
in the first round.
In Michigan versus Ohio State in the semifinal too.
Right.
Forget the rematches and all that other stuff.
And then we should have saw Georgia versus either Ohio State or Michigan.
Exactly.
In the ship.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Because TCU is the first school that lost the last game of the season and didn't drop it all in the college football playoff history. They didn't drop it all. Ohio State dropped.
Georgia dropped last year.
Georgia dropped last year. They didn't drop now a single spot.
Because remember, that's how Georgia ended up playing Michigan.
Yeah.
Because Georgia was one. Georgia was one. Yeah, because they was undefeated. Bama moved to 1, right? Or Michigan.
Bama moved to 1.
Bama moved to 1. They played Cincinnati 4, and Michigan and Georgia was 2 and 3. Got it. Yeah, you're right.
Because they're trying to like we never really have a criteria on what the committee really, what they're really looking for.
It's a moving target.
It is, because some years you get the four most talented teams, but this year we got the 4 most deserving teams, which is different. You know what I mean? And you see what most deserving got you. it got a 65-7 drubbing.
Yeah, that was bad.
I feel like Georgia would have taken care of them in the first round. You got a much better, even though both semifinal games were great. Yeah. I feel like you would have got a much better championship game with Georgia versus Ohio State or Michigan.
Go ahead, my bad.
Even instead of the what you got, because they had their lowest ratings over championship game ever Monday night.
Yeah,
you knew that was gonna happen. Like, even I think TCU would have played better if it would have been the first round. I don't think it would have been that bad. It probably would have looked like Bama and Cincinnati did last year. Like they beat them handily, but it wasn't 65-7. Yeah. It'd be more like probably 28-3 or something like that. You know what I mean? But
bro, they literally scored every drive except for the punt after the half and the kneel down at the end.
Yeah, because they couldn't do nothing. Like, they couldn't do nothing offensively, and they couldn't stop them defensively. Like, it was so clear on who the best team was. On if it wasn't even funny. It looked like high school versus college, bro.
From the coin toss.
Because on them last 2 touchdowns Branson Robinson scored, they weren't even running like no sophisticated running plays. It was just like, run the ball if we score, cool. And he was just 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 yards a carry.
About everybody. Like, Brock Bowers was killing in the first half, and like,
he had
what can you do? Like,
he had like nothing. He had $159, something like that. It was Lad McConkey. It was crazy.
It didn't matter.
Like for people who say them stars don't mean nothing, it used to
Nah.
be like that back in the day when it wasn't as accurate. You know, 05, 06, when it was just really getting into that stuff. Like, yeah, stars was kind of back then. You can't really pay attention to. But now you better listen to them folk, them recruiting services.
Exactly.
They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and also now you got these coaches who coming in there and developing the stars. You see what I'm saying? Now that play a big part too, right? So you look at even in that game Monday night, that was Big Bad Alexander's best game of the season. Cause all the sauce they've been putting on him now is you know what I mean? Now he ain't no freshman no more, really. You know what I mean? Technically, of course he is, but I'm saying you get what I mean. He played 15 ball games in the SEC.
Right.
Now you ready to go. So Jalen Walker, another freshman. You know what I mean? Marvin Jones Jr., these guys starting to turn the corner. So you developing that talent. You understand what I'm saying? And it was 0 sacks. I think the only hurry was when Stetson got the first down. That might have been the only hurry.
Yeah. And he
Right.
baited dude into that.
Yeah.
When he spun out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That might have been the only hurry. So, you know, it was man, for me, it was beautiful to watch. Listen, it's so funny, right? Everybody that I talk to, right? So I go and Seldom had a game Tuesday night. So I'm a Georgia jacket. So I'm walking. Guy like, oh man, boy, they put a whooping on them last night. Man, I quit watching after such and such. I went and did this. Like, so everybody, so I called my mechanic. I called him. I had a couple things I needed done on sale car. So we get ready to get off the phone. He's like, oh, you doing real good, ain't you? I said, what's up? I said, oh yeah. He said, yeah, man, I quit watching after the second quarter. Like everybody I talked to said the same thing. So, man, it was man, that was man.
I mean, and then it just shows you the dominance of the SEC. I think
Absolutely.
Like if you look at it since 2007, I think there's only 3 non-SEC teams that won a championship.
They've won.
And Clemson is 2 of them.
Clemson, well, I mean, but the teams, Clemson, Ohio State, and Florida State, the only 3 teams who won a national championship that ain't out of the SEC since 2007.
Since 2007.
Like the last 15 years, there's only been 3 other teams.
Right. So what is it? 14 out of the. Oh no.
It might be since 2006. Did Florida win in 2006?
Florida won in 06. They beat Ohio.
So it's been since 2006.
They beat Ohio State.
You and the SEC went on what's that, a 9 of 6, 7 year run?
It was 7 years.
Yeah, it was Florida, LSU, Florida, Bama, Auburn, Bama, Florida State.
Yep, then Florida State broke it. That was 7 years. Florida State broke it. And then who won that next? Ohio State, and then back to Bama, then Clemson, then Bama,
then Clemson, Bama, Georgia,
LSU.
Yeah, LSU.
Bama, Georgia. And I've seen this. So I don't know what they think this 12-team playoff is going to do, but get 4 SEC teams in the Final Four.
Make money.
4 of them.
It's going to be 4 SEC teams in that Final Four.
No bull. It's going to be 4 of them.
Within the first 3 to 4 seasons, it's going to be 4 SEC teams in the Final Four.
Don't mess around. Be Bama, Tennessee, and LSU, Georgia, and
them gonna be the 4 right there.
That other SEC team that always sneak up.
Yeah.
Them gonna be the 4 right there.
It's gonna be 4 teams, Quinn. You hit the nail on the head, dog. That's what they gonna do. And listen, you're gonna get them 4.
Yep.
You're gonna get.
There's always some sleeping giants in the SEC. It's always a chance that Florida could pop out of nowhere. It's always a chance that Texas A&M could pop out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And now you got Texas and Oklahoma coming. So.
Ole Miss, you know what I'm saying? Listen, so you could probably pencil SCM because Lincoln Riley about to run that, right?
Yeah.
Ohio State ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. You don't have Oregon.
Ohio State just signed 4 more jail races.
Right.
Exactly.
They ain't going
they keep a stack of them.
Man, dog.
Florida State probably gonna have a good squad next year.
Who?
Florida State.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they will. They are because they got a lot of people coming back. They hit the transfer portal hard, and their quarterback coming back too.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. And Kerry, you know, I was hard on them in that first game, but they got him actually 3rd in Heisman.
That's it. I seen some places have Florida State in the top 5 early preseason ranking.
Cause they got him as a Heisman, you know, hopeful or whatever. I forgot who the first 2 were. Oh, Michael Penix.
Have y'all seen the Pac-12 quarterbacks?
Michael Penix been in college football for 12 years.
Wait, I mean, so you have other quarterbacks too.
Hey,
we ain't name no names or nothing. I mean, so some of them just start collecting AARP.
Hey, don't worry about Stinquavius. Don't worry about Stinquavius. Hey, y'all know
I do Creole a lot just then,
but do y'all know TCU punter is 30 and he coming back?
Yeah. Wow. That and the tight end from Oregon is 29
for his 9th season.
9th season.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. I'm saying, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nah, but I'm saying like this COVID year, that COVID year ain't gonna be up to like 2026.
That's crazy.
26.
I didn't know it was that long.
I didn't either till Kevin said that the other day.
But yeah, so the Pac-12 quarterbacks, they got Penix, they got Nix, they got Williams, Cam Rising coming back, Shador Sanders out there now. Who else?
They got a nice crop, boy.
Yeah.
Well,
BTR moving on, huh?
UCLA?
Yeah, they got that. They probably gonna start that true freshman.
That's what I'm trying to think of his name. Is it Malachi something?
Yeah, but what's his last name?
I can't think of it. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, you probably gonna get your Heisman win at that conference.
They got a lot.
They're gonna put up some numbers against each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Bo Nix said he gonna win that time.
Bo Nix, he just might, because he run and throw and look, hey, he played well this year though.
Yeah, quit.
So look, who shout out to my dogs, man. Congratulations, back to backs. Y'all know how that feel. So hey,
look, I'm gonna tell you the only reason why I wanted to win, Mike, because you my guy. I'm like, I know how I feel.
That's the only reason.
I want my guy to have this.
Yeah, that shit over with now.
That's the only reason I want to go out there and win. I'm like, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, I mean, you get too big for your britches now.
Because my criteria is 3 for a dynasty. Like you get this 3rd one, and it ain't even got to be. I'm gonna tell you this. Let's get into this.
Go ahead.
It ain't even got to be next year for them to be a dynasty. If they won another one within the next 2 seasons,
years.
I'm still gonna call them a dynasty.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. For me, you know, I just think what Kirby has done is just great, right? Like just rebuilding that culture like that. Like they different. You know what I'm saying? And I heard Aaron Murray talking, and he was talking about that pregame speech. And he was like, man, that's way different than what I heard. He was like, no disrespect to Coach Rick. Yeah. But we wasn't hearing that. And he was like, even from the way they practice, he was like, we worked hard. He was like, but if you go to their practices now, he was like, they getting after it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just those, he just turned it up, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, man, just like they bought in. They've bought in. Like Darnell Washington called one pass Monday night. But you would have thought he had called just as many as Brock Bowers the way he was playing, the way he blocking. And I wish he would have scored on that one when he ended up falling down. But he's gotten them to buy in, you know what I mean, and believe, and now they you know they doing big things. But moving forward for me with them, To me, I ain't gonna lie, it's just all about the quarterback position at this point.
That's really what it is, and that's everywhere though. I mean,
Yeah,
it ain't just them.
I'm confident
Because
in the defense and the line and the backs and even the receivers. You know what I mean? So
but
I'm
see, I was thinking about exactly what you said, Mike, last night. Like I said, I was watching 2015 Georgia versus Bama, and
mhm,
I was looking at Georgia, and I'm like, man, really the only difference is the quarterback. So I'm
mhm.
like, I disrespected Stetson Bennett for a long time, but if you look at what he did the last 2 years, man, he made throws, bro. Like
Mm,
it wasn't like I said before, they didn't win in spite of him. Like he made big time throws.
absolutely.
Well, Kevin, when you have 7 years to practice those throws,
Hey, hey, man, you gonna get out. You gonna get out my man Steady B.
I am,
Listen,
man, because I hate him, man, because Bama would have won that game last year if he didn't wake up in the fourth quarter.
He did, man. He
that
woke
that
up in that game just like he woke up in Ohio State game.
Yeah,
yeah, because that last drive, well, not the last drive, but the drive when he threw the one to Mitchell, he was spectacular on that drive. That next drive, they kind of ran the ball all the way down. He threw the screen to Brock, but man, he hit the big one. Oh man, transfer.
Burton.
Jermaine
Okay.
Burton.
Oh,
He hit Burton, then he hit McIntosh, and so yeah, he did. So that's what I say. Like for me, it's just the quarterback position. Now you got some the good part about it is you got some guys that's been there, so it ain't like you throwing them in the fire, but not like the true freshman where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's what it's about to me because like they keep backs, they keep good personnel, offensive line, tight ends. You know what I'm saying? They don't have per se the dynamic receivers, but you know what I mean. They got serviceable ones, and so I'm cool with that. But
what's gonna be crazy though is like if Carson Beck come in and he can't because he basically the opposite of Stetson Bennett, right?
yeah,
This big 6'4",
you
230-pound quarterback that was a great baseball player. I think he was good in basketball too in
yeah.
high school. You know what I mean? Like this big athletic specimen come in, and is he gonna be able to do the same thing that little 5'10", 180-pound Stetson Bennett did?
I tell you what, man. Like y'all said the other day, he got some gigantic shoes. As crazy as this sound, he got some gigantic shoes to fill from the 5'10", 165, 70 pounder. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He left you, hey, look, he left you a lot of money behind, but boy, you better know what to do with it,
yeah,
right? Um, nah, man, that's always the thing with college football, right? Like we saw it with Clemson.
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, yo, that boy came in there and balled big time, and then he left for the DJU. And hey, he had all but he couldn't quite, you know what I mean, get it
Yeah.
together. We've seen it even with Alabama, where you say, man, you worried, but then you get a guy in there. Like nobody expected Blake Sims to do what Blake Sims did.
Right.
Blake Sims had a hell of a run.
It was supposed who was it supposed to be Jake Coker that year?
Jake Coker.
And Jake Coker did the following year.
The following year, yeah,
It's been guys like Philip Sims, Blake Barnett, and
yeah,
Cooper Bateman that was supposed to be
that
guy, and they never panned out.
it didn't pan out. And, you know, you see it all the time. You see it all the time. You know, luckily, it's been some good transitions at Georgia. They weren't winning championships though,
Yeah.
right? So you went from Matt to Aaron. You know what I mean? It was a gap, and then you ended up getting Easton. That didn't work out. Went to Fromm, and after Fromm, it was crazy. Everything was predicated off quarterback. Even still, that team they had that year after Fromm left,
Yeah.
that's all they needed. If they'd have had because Stetson was thrown in there at that time, and JT was hurt. So that whole thing, and Jamie Newman opted out. So you had all that. So yeah, Q, like you said, it's kind of right. And also, I was going to ask y'all, if you look around, we talked about the quarterbacks in the Pac-12. If you look at, so who is it? Who in the SEC right now? The returning is Jaden Daniels and who? Spencer Rattler. So those two definitely gonna be.
And that's it, really. If you think about it.
Yep.
And out of those two,
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart coming back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So out of those three, what would you how would you rank them?
I'll go Jaden Daniels. Who's the second one? Spencer Rattler, then Jackson Dart. I mean that's not saying much, but I mean
I would just switch 1 and 2. I'd go Spence.
Me too.
Daniels, Dart.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man.
I only go Jaden because of the team he got around him, though.
Yeah, but I think Spencer.
Somebody turn that light on.
If we get the same Spencer Rattler at the end of the season last year, or this fall season next year, then yeah, because that's what he was supposed to be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
and I just believe he's more that than not.
Yeah, because that's what he was supposed to be, like coming in, like #1 quarterback in the country. And then even coming into South Carolina, they still had him ranked as possibly the first quarterback taken in the draft. Like, so we know the potential is there. Mm-hmm. I feel like he just had to get his feet underneath him, get used to the system. Yeah, I mean, this man from the West Coast, he coming all the way about as far as east as you can get.
And in the South.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He's learning different cultures, learning, different. Everything is different.
Yeah, totally different, bro. Like,
I agree. I think what we saw in the last few games is more along the lines of what he really is.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I would change 1 and 2 because I think Spencer Rattler is super talented, like you said. Getting his feet wet, getting up on them, getting used to that conference,
and probably being humbled a little bit too.
Absolutely,
that's probably got a lot.
Absolutely, and then two different systems, 2 different coaches. I think Lincoln Riley is a very good offensive coach, offensive mind. But if you look at Beamer, looked like he got more personality, looked like he's more of a people person. I ain't saying that Lincoln Riley not, or even saying nothing bad about him, because he could just not be, he could be cool, calm, and still reach people. That's not what I'm saying. It just may be like, I don't know. And it who knows? Sometimes that's just what certain people mesh better together than others, you know what I'm saying? But I do think he's gonna be pretty good for them. So if we look at the SEC, what's the name coming back, but he didn't start last year. Milton.
Oh, Tennessee.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not for sure that he's starting, because even though he has a rocket arm.
They got
ball is a little inaccurate, and this Nico Iamaleava guy is supposed to be.
There you go.
He's supposed to be the truth.
Yeah,
he is.
I've seen him. Kevin, I'm you know how glowingly I spoke with Bryce coming out of California.
Yeah,
I don't see it. I mean, I can see what the hype is about, but I feel like, because I feel like Bryce was great, right? Him and Uyangalele came out together. I feel like with both of them, they knew they were good, but they also had a humbleness about them, right?
Right.
Which I think you need coming into something like this. I don't see it out of this kid. Now, I might be wrong. I could be wrong.
I hope you're right.
But I just don't see it. And I feel like it's something going wrong for him.
Let me change that. No, I don't.
I feel like it's something wrong for him. He's gonna be one of them guys that'll jump quick. Yeah. If he's not the starter first, if he get in there and get beat up,
he be headed Arizona State as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got you. A lot of them West Coast guys can't handle it. Like I said before, Blake Barnett. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when Jalen Hurts came in, because it was still a competition.
Yeah.
When Jalen Hurts came in and took over in that USC game, he was out after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Greg McElroy.
Before the season was over.
Greg McElroy was quite annoyed.
Yeah.
I remember that vividly. Greg McElroy was pretty pissed off, but I mean, that's the, and especially now though. Think about where we are now. That was about 6
And,
years ago.
and now we got
Now,
free agency. So
yeah, they not sticking around at all. Not QB, but I get it with the QBs more than any other position,
yeah,
right?
only one can play.
Only one can play, so it's not like running back where, bro, you can sit there running back and bide your time, D lineman, and like we was just talking about before earlier, DB, you can make some waves, especially, you know, I've seen offensive linemen do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Q, I forgot about that kid at Tennessee.
That's gonna
But
be he gonna put Milton. He gonna give him a run. I want to see how Hypo handles it. You know what I mean? Because he's a former quarterback himself, right? Heisman Trophy. Heisman. Did he win the Heisman?
Nah, they just won the Natty.
Okay, yeah, national championship quarterback. So he knows how to handle the quarterback room. I just want to see how the kid handles it. You know what I mean? Because Tennessee is a high pressure place, especially now since they had a great season last season. So
and then y'all just think about it though, man. Like, think about how hard that is, dog. And I'm talking about managing these quarterbacks in today's period. I know it was tough, but I'm talking now. Think about when Jacob Eason got to UGA. He was the number one quarterback in the country. He played that first year. It was about as well as you could probably expect a quarterback to play. As a freshman, new coach, new everything. One was they went 8-5, 7-5, whatever.
yeah.
You come back, look like you, and you get hurt. Then the freshmen come in, and everything goes perfect for this freshman. You never get your job back. What do you say as a coach? This the number one quarterback in the country in his class. And I just benched this dude, and we went to the national championship. And Justin Fields, by the way, is on the way.
I mean, it ain't nothing for you to say because as a coach, your job is to give your team the best chance to win. So
yeah.
It ain't your job to make sure he start.
Yeah, and I think at that point it's on the player too. Like you saw what just happened, right?
Yeah.
And you know that probably wasn't gonna happen if I was out there. So you gotta look inside yourself at this point and know that this is just a guy right now. Am I gonna stay and try to get my shot back, or am I gonna leave? So I mean, it's like Kevin says, really not much for the coach to say. I mean, he got to put the best player out there. See,
that's the thing, Q and Kevin, like y'all saying, it's hard when you when people say, well, how did he let him get out of there? How did he, man, like, I know they did everything they could to keep the player, especially really, really good players. But at the end of the day, when you talk about that quarterback position, dog, that's just a different beast.
Mike, we saw this play out over a whole season at Alabama with Jalen Hurts and Tua.
Absolutely.
Every time Tua came in, you knew he was a better quarterback.
Yeah.
Saban kept Hurts in there as long as he possibly could. Yeah. Until he knew that there is no way I can win with
the last 2 quarters of the season.
Exactly, to the last 2 quarters of the season.
Till he knew he was gonna break my heart. Nah, you're right. And like I say, man, and that's why, fans, all of us do it. We get critical, of these coaches and stuff, but then you do have to sit back and say, man, damn if you do, damn if you don't. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying? Like, them dudes, they ain't gonna never win, bro. Like, I saw somebody tweet, I think it was yesterday. He said, after this, I don't care who the quarterback is. I'm just gonna shut the hell up and let Kirby do his job. It was hilarious because I felt that way after halfway, 3/4 last year. I said, you know what? I just need to shut the hell up and let this man do his job. And so it was so funny. He said, after these 2 years and after what Stetson Bennett did, so I'm just shut the hell up. He said, I don't care who the quarterback is. I'm just shut the hell up and let Kirby do his job. And I think, like, a lot of times as fans, we be so irrational and unrealistic. Like I heard Nick Saban say one time, and it's simple logic and basic, but he was like, "You think these kids not trying to win?" He's like, "You think they trying to mess up, dog? Like, you think it hurt you? You think you hurt you more than it hurt them?"
That's why I always say, like, when people get mad at, like, oh man, why they didn't do this? Why I'm like, that other team practicing too, bro.
Absolutely.
That other team is out there recruiting too. They
Yeah,
playing
dog.
hard too.
They
Sometimes you gotta give them a little credit. It can't always be about your team.
You just got to do that sometimes, right? Like, you know, you said, well, like I text y'all a couple weeks ago. Somebody was playing, and I was like, man. Remember, I was like, why? Then I was like, then again, I'm texting this from the couch right now, like, because if it worked, you a genius,
yeah,
right. You know what I mean? But so a lot of times, fans, you know, we get caught up. Like, look, people think like, oh, it's just that they had to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he blew the whole game because he did such and such. Well, you don't know that they've been working on that for however long. It just didn't get executed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be, or something could happen. Like in that Ohio State game, I heard a lot of people criticizing Todd Monken and Kirby Smith for not using Brock Bowers. Well, Brock Bowers was sick the whole week and that day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know good and well, you got a player that damn good. You just not scheme him into the game plan
some kind of way.
Like, oh hey, let's not go to our best receiving option. let's not go to him.
In this the most important game of the season.
Yeah, let's just not go to him. Matter of fact, we're gonna start Gunnar Stockton instead of Stetson Bennett. You know, I mean, like, come on now. So yeah, man, but I think
on the other side of that, while we've been all understanding, and you got coordinators like Bill O'Brien, who I'm always gonna criticize. I don't give a damn how long.
Some things you just can't talk out, man. Some things are just blatantly obvious when you see it on the field.
I feel you.
Like just like you said a few minutes ago, Mike, about Georgia receivers. I feel like Alabama receivers.
Yeah, comparable.
Yeah, comparable. Right. Why are they able to get throws from a completely from Stetson Bennett is amazing. Did amazing last 2 years. Bama had the best quarterback they've ever had ever on campus the last 2 years.
Listen. Bryce Young, I don't even know what that. Hey, listen. Now I'm with you. I'm right there with you because we could go player for player. AD and Ja'Cory Brooks. But AD wasn't even there until Ohio State, right? The rest of them we could kind of, you know what I mean? We could do some swap for swaps, you know. Lad McConkey is ex-player. Marcus Roseman-Jackson, you know what I mean? Kieris, Dom, you know what I mean? Arian Smith, you know. So I feel y'all.
Why are they able to find spots in the same 52-yard wide field?
Because it's being schemed. That's why.
Yeah,
and that's my issue. I look at the amount of easy touchdowns that Georgia got, like those, like the amount of blown coverages that basically they create by getting a linebacker on a receiver.
You create blown coverages, just like Tennessee and Alabama. You create
right. You create those. You know what I mean? Or how many times did Georgia run that damn jailbreak screen at the perfect time? Where either Lad McConkey or they hit Kenny McIntosh.
Kieris Jackson get it.
Kieris Jackson, and they just out. How many easy touchdowns you see from Bama like that this year?
Kevin, you remember when I asked you that question in text about who called a better game, Sark or McElwain in the 2000 against LSU?
Yeah.
Do you remember them throws that the receivers that were open in the LSU game because of the way they scheme against that amazing defense.
Right.
Well, even that defense Georgia had, not last year, but the year before, because that defense was, I know it ain't play out like that, but that defense the year before was probably better than the one last year. We just didn't have the offense to complement it.
Right.
And if you look at the stuff that Bama was getting against that defense was hell, because they actually had
You talking about with Roquan Smith now?
No, not that one.
No,
the one with that crazy secondary.
They played Bama and Bama.
When they had Tyson Campbell, Richard LeCount, that secondary was the whole secondary went league.
And you saw what Sark was able to do to him.
J.R. Reed was on that team. You understand what I'm saying? Was Eric Stokes? No, Eric Stokes wasn't on that team. He was gone. He was a rookie in the NFL at that time. But you know what I'm saying, right? Like that defense was good. You know what I'm saying? Monty Rice, all them guys. That defense was really good. Azeez Ojulari, right? Think about the name. All these dudes I'm naming, they in the pro.
All in the NFL, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And couldn't do nothing with it. You know.
And it's not like during that game, Bama's receivers was just mossing everybody. They were open because they were scheme open because they had a competent offense coordinator that could scheme them open. I don't understand why you so coveted in the NFL if you can't. You got the best quarterback ever to play Alabama.
He knows something on somebody, man. It's the same dude who got rid of DeAndre Hopkins, bro.
But let me ask y'all a question. What really has he ever done?
Exactly.
One at Penn State.
But I'm saying Penn State.
But I'm saying that's what got him this name. For some reason, I don't know. It got him a great reputation.
And to be honest,
what did he even win?
He wasn't even amazing at Penn State. The only reason that's looked at as this great success is he came in after the Joe Paterno situation and kept him from dumbing totally out. That's the only reason it's looked at as being so successful.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, hell, why James Franklin looked at the same way? Why he ain't all as coveted as
because he not getting whooped up there. He putting out NFL products.
Yeah.
And he's surviving in the Big Ten against Ohio State and Michigan. He's competitive every single year against Ohio State and Michigan. They blew it that one year. They should have beat Ohio State.
But they're competitive.
But they're competitive. They're not getting mopped up.
And they beat Auburn 2 years in a row, so he's all right.
I know you're a fan.
Q say, yeah. But I just always wonder, like, yo, what makes Bill O'Brien so, like you say, Kevin, so coveted?
He messed my team up this year. That's all I know.
Right. So look, while we on Bama, what do y'all see?
I'm extremely confident, and I think the future is bright because we just sit here and dogged out the two coordinators for the last few minutes, and they lost 2 games by a total of 5 points. With all of that being said, as bad as they were, the worst penalized team in the history of Alabama football, all of this and that, and they still lost 2 games by a total of 5 points.
Right.
And they just brought in the greatest recruiting class ever on paper.
So are y'all, what do y'all see? What are y'all expectations? What are y'all hopes?
National championship, just like every.
Here's the thing, Mike. Okay. I wish we was doing this pod in, I'll say Monday next week, because I got a feeling that this upcoming weekend
it's gonna be
it's gonna kind of shape the future a little bit. So my whole thing is we've never had a problem having the players. We got the players. We got the best players in the country. Yep. By far, other than Georgia and who else? Ohio State.
Nobody, not even Ohio State.
Yeah, nobody else is close but Georgia. If we being completely honest on both sides of the ball, nobody has a roster like Alabama but Georgia. So that should really be our only competition. We should be on no close games with anybody. That all depends on, you can put the players out there, but you have to put them in position to win.
But it's outlier games, right? Georgia, Missouri.
Of course, it's outlier games.
But you still find a way to win them, though.
Yeah.
And,
no doubt.
and even if you lose, because it's okay to lose, you know what I mean? Even if you lose, you can't have two of those. Bama's problem was not only that they, and the players didn't even play bad in the Tennessee game. Like, I feel like that game was on the coordinators. For one, giving up 5 touchdowns on 6 receptions to one receiver.
One player.
Like that's horrible. All of them penalties and all of that's on the players, but that also starts at the top with Nick Saban. I don't know what happened right there. But with all of them penalties, like you can't win like that. But then, okay, you lay the egg. That's fine. That's happened. That happens before, and it happens. You know what I mean? You can't come back against LSU and lose to LSU. You cannot lose to LSU, bro. There's no way with that team should have lost that LSU game. There's no way.
That should not have even been a close game at all. I don't care. I don't care if they was playing at LSU.
I'm with y'all. You have to win that game, but it was off this year.
Yeah.
You can see it was off from. You can see it was off from that Texas game. You can see it was off.
Well, see, Q, I ain't even tripping. I wasn't even really tripping on the Texas game, right? I thought that was gonna be like the
outliers,
the Georgia Missouri game for them. Yeah. I thought, like, man, Texas ain't no chumps. You playing down there.
Hey, yours was healthy at the time and balling at the very beginning.
Yeah,
and I think that kind of set the tone anyway.
I know
he got hurt, but.
And I ain't shooting major bell, but it was hot as hell. Yeah. You talking about?
Man, who you telling? I was out there in the
day. Right. You know what I mean? Midday that time of year down south, bro. We know what it is. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? Bryce still getting the feel for the youngins, right? Receivers.
Yeah. Gibbs still trying to get up to speed.
So I felt like, Gibbs to me, I felt like was underutilized in that game.
I think he's underutilized
in that season.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, the whole season. But so, I was like the Texas game wasn't as big of a, but it was just like a reoccurring thing how they kept looking.
Yeah. But
so I'm like,
think about it though, right? And so would you say, when you say it was the way they was looking, would you say it was more defensively or offensively?
Well, to me, defensively, they weren't bad at all. Like if you look at what they gave up as bad as they played in the Texas game, with Texas only scored 15.
See, defensively, it was the penalties though.
Yeah,
penalties.
That's what it was. So many times where they should have been off the field and they had a penalty.
Yep.
It did, and then it was some uncharacteristic stuff on defense to me.
Yeah, especially from Will Anderson, for real, a couple of times.
But then too, man, I'm gonna give them. They ain't perfect and stuff like that. But for me, it was just more that offense. Cause see, to me, just outside looking in, for me to. Like, it's just like that offensive line issues for Bama, just not used to seeing that. 2 years in a row, Bryce Young had to run entirely too much for his life. He got hit way too much. If he just wasn't who he is, you know what I mean? I guarantee you, if he wasn't the cat that he is, he wouldn't even played in that K-State game, right? Thinking about, but I just, for me, it was more offense, Q, more the offensive line. When I say offense now, I know he ain't perfect, but I'm putting Bryce on the pedestal. Like, I ain't talking about Bryce, right? I'm talking about the line. I'm talking about the receivers. Oh, my boy want to. He played well. But I don't know. It just didn't look right to me, man. Especially with the weapons on offense that they had.
It didn't look right because the offensive coordinator's energy is off. Like even like that's what I always hear. Like nobody really rock with the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like not only is his play calling awful, but his presence is the same way. Like,
them players love Sark. They love Lane Kiffin. They love Jim McElwain. They even like Nussmeier that 1 year.
So. Okay. So it's not are y'all worried about the culture at all?
No, Nick Saban's the culture.
Yeah. That's what the culture
I get it. I get you the coach, I'm saying, but y'all don't see like no.
I feel like
it's just weird to me, man.
So
not weird in the sense of, oh, they didn't win the championship. Like we've seen them not win a championship.
nah,
The whole season felt
I
weird.
see.
I
I
get what you're
see where
saying.
you coming from.
Yeah,
No,
I do too.
I can see it. I can see it on an opposing fan's face right now.
Yeah,
Y'all don't have that same feel that y'all had before.
exactly. That's what it is. That's the
bounce.
weird feeling you feeling right now.
Now that for me,
And I don't. My bad. I don't mean to say fear. It's the same.
I mean, it is fear, Kevin. They were scared of us.
it's a fear of this. How I always felt. After I'm gonna tell you when I started feeling like this. So the first year, Nick got there, Matt beat him in OT in Tuscaloosa. Boom, whatever. And then
Michael Henderson caught it in the
Mike
corner.
Henderson, right. Then you had the blackout game.
Julio caught it in the back of the end zone. It was over with after that.
And yeah, right? All right. Then you come back, and then the SEC championship game. But I'm like, okay. That was just you know what I mean? That was a hard-fought game. That was a good game. Then you come back, and the raining game. We was just talking about the game in the rain where Nick ran.
Yeah.
And then you come back, and then it started to be, all right, man, like, now it's starting to feel like whatever can go wrong, gonna go wrong. It's starting to feel like either you're gonna get, so it wasn't even like, I always felt like Georgia could compete, but it just felt like that national championship, dog, it was like, are you kidding me?
So
are you kidding?
Like, it always felt like an uphill battle, right?
Bruh, the man misses the field goal to win the game. It goes to overtime. You sack this dude. You score, you sack this guy. Defense been playing lights out all night. And then that happens, it's like, yo. So then it's like, all right, you get your mind all prepped again, and you come back in the SEC championship, dominating the game. Tua go out of the game. But to me, I'm going to tell you, what's still the biggest play of that game to me is when Josh Jacobs recovered his own fumble in the end zone. I think if Georgia recovered that fumble, they win that game.
Yeah, because the game would never been tied.
That one right there. So then even that one, you just feel like, you know what? I don't know if this shit gonna ever happen. Yeah. So then, you know what I mean? Every matchup that came up, you get yourself psyched because that's your team or whatever. And then I think the next one was a blowout. That was the one when they put Stetson in there and he, you know what I mean? He got a little banged up and it was just, you know what I'm saying?
Actually, that game, they was leading that game up until halftime.
They was winning that game. That was the one where James Cook caught the long pass. So, and that was Jermaine Burton. So it always was like you could compete, but it was like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
so, but no. When you say fear, I feel you. It's not disrespectful to me because it is a sense of that. Like you said, it is a sense of like, I don't want to play these cats. Now, last year, I was like, yeah, you want to play these guys, right? You still on the edge of your seat the whole time, but you just still. But for me, right now, this is probably the calmest I've been in a while, and I'm going to tell you why. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit that happened. Because Bryce Young is going to the NFL. Dog. Like, that dude is that good to me. He's that good to me.
But see, I think they play their best when their quarterback is not that guy.
Yeah, when they don't have to completely depend on him.
Kevin and Quinn.
Look,
I don't care. I am just glad that young man, I am so happy for him. Listen, wizard, I might buy whatever project, whatever team he go to, I might buy the jersey. I'm so glad he gone. This dude is, I feel like him. I haven't felt like this. Q, my bad. I haven't felt like this since Tim Tebow was at Florida. Oh my gosh, like
it's a good comparison.
It was just like, Tebow, would you please just leave already, bro?
Let me ask y'all a hypothetical question. What do y'all think Bryce Young would have done with that 2020 team that Mac Jones had?
About the same.
Man, I don't think he can do much more.
Than I was gonna say it was hard. It's hard to do more than what he did.
Not that Mac is the player that Bryce is, but it probably been about the same.
Yeah, I don't know. Q, besides
like break a few less sacks,
break every record in life. That was
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about Bama's culture and where they are moving forward. So Q, let me ask you this: did you feel like this, or is the feeling the same after we lost to Clemson twice in the national championship? Because this ain't the first time that this happened. Like, because I hear people saying that Georgia's the new king, and I think people forget that people said the same thing about Clemson. So
They did.
Did you feel that way when Clemson won 2 national championships over Bama?
No, well, it's a so here's the thing, Kevin. It's a difference. Even though that was in the Kirby transition years, I felt like the coaches that they hired to replace them, especially with Pruitt coming in, I trusted Pruitt. I trusted the talent, of course, right?
Yeah.
And I trusted this when it first happened, right? Because I told you about Bryce. I knew he was gonna be awesome. I didn't think that B.O.B. would mess it up as bad as he has. So, and Bryce actually played through that last season. He won a Heisman because, and I don't even think Bill was I don't even think O'Brien was scheming people open last season. I just think because we had Jameson on the field, you had a defense that had to go towards him, which left the other receivers open, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly what it was.
Hence the natty.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because you noticed the difference when he went out in that national championship game.
And you know it's different when he went out in Auburn too.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
the
was a totally
targeting
different game.
The targeting call.
Yeah, when he went out in
What's it
Auburn, it
called?
was a totally different game, a totally different team.
It was targeting, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
targeting.
Took him out
He
in
was
the
on
first
special
quarter.
teams. Yeah.
Mike, he had 70 yards in the first quarter in that national
Yeah.
championship game.
Because that's why I told y'all when I was like, y'all was like, can they win without Jameson? Like, no, they can win without Mechie. They can't win without Jameson because he takes the top off. You know what I mean? Like, and they didn't have that this year.
It's yeah. Well, but this year, but Q, finish what you were saying though. Actually,
Kevin, so here's the thing. I'm probably putting more weight than I should. I'm putting a lot of weight on the coaching staff changes that he made. And the reason why I'm doing that, and the reason why I'm doing it is because I follow recruiting like Kevin used to, like hard. Like I all these guys and everything. Like for real, Kevin. I go hard on it. So the types of players that they brought in this year, even though they're the same star level, they're a different type of player than the players they brought in the last couple of seasons. Because I feel like these players that are coming in now are ready to work. They got 2 great JUCO players, right? That I think gonna play from day one. I
agree, especially on Benson.
Yep. They got some defensive help freshmen that's gonna play from day one, like Caleb Downs. Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
I'm like, how we pull that off?
Him and Justice Haynes.
Yeah.
Haynes' dad played at Georgia, so I don't care. He's what he's
supposed to be. Yeah. Well, I mean,
but,
you know, we doing, man. You know, Tyson Paul, he didn't even play this year, torn ACL. You know, we loaded up in that backfield. But I ain't gonna lie, I like Justice.
Bad boy.
Justice bad though.
But I'm putting all the weight on them coordinators. That's who I'm putting it on because I feel like Saban puts a lot of. Saban he's a CEO of the organization, so he gives his coordinators a lot of leeway to do their thing.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
He said it himself. He hears every play and he has he can overturn it if he wants to, but he hardly ever does. So
I'm with you on that.
I feel like ask me this next week when some token change be made. I'll be able to give you a straight answer because now I don't know.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I think these his coordinator hires are going to be huge moving forward, man.
But Kevin, I get what you're saying. Like, so from the reverse, for me, you know what I mean, being a Georgia fan, but being a football fan, right, and an SEC fan, right. I understand what you mean because I didn't feel like this when they lost to Clemson. It was just like shit, like they lost. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you lost to a transcendent quarterback too that first year.
So that means that had a lot to do with it too. Q, like you lost to Deshaun Watson, Mike Williams was there, right? Hunter
Yep.
Renfro, the guy, was it Leggett? There is some bad boys, right? You had probably 4 guys off that D line that's in the pros right
Oh yeah,
now.
that whole D line went in the first round, didn't they?
When Christian Wilkins in there,
Wilkins,
yeah, like all them guys. So
And Jalen still had them beat in the fourth quarter.
and then sometimes it's just, that's good on good, right? It ain't basketball where you can come back and say, oh, we in a series like NBA ball or whatever. Sometimes it is what it is. So I was just like, they lost. And when they lost to Clemson, I mean, that's the same school, but when they lost to Trevor Lawrence, that team, it was a couple of plays in that game that I felt like that shifted that game a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the pick six didn't really hurt them to me, but it was just a couple more plays that shifted in that game. But I still didn't feel like, I think it's just the way they've been playing to me.
Yeah. And like, so here's the thing, right? Like, the reason I'm not worried, like a lot of people are, is because at the end of the day, they got talent. And that talent is as great there as it is anywhere else.
Right.
All you need is for the coaches not to mess it up. And the past 2 years, they messed it up.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So as long as we get competent coordinators that are not going to mess this up, they're going to be right there where they've been. Now,
yeah, for sure.
I feel like them in Georgia, Bama and Georgia are right here. And
Right.
it's just, when they meet, it's just going to be a clash of the Titans, 50-50.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't think Bama going nowhere. They can't. It's too much talent there.
So you think it's more the coaching?
I know that's what it is.
Because it's hard. It's hard for me to sit here and because remember I asked y'all, I was like, what's going on the line and all of that stuff, and y'all was like, it was some misses, which every school gonna have misses. I don't care who you are, right? And
to help those misses though, a good game plan, Mike. So that's what we say, right? So you saw Bama, like Kevin said, 2 losses by 5 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about if you got a 5 plays here on offense, 5 plays here on defense, that can flip the score 17 points, and you out of there with an easy win.
Well, I can tell you an even better analogy than using them in Georgia. We could use the team Georgia played. We could use TCU. Yeah. Like how they got where they got.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, Kevin, they don't have 25, 35. That's why I feel you on your point of saying you don't disagree with them. I feel like they deserve to be in the playoff, right? So, but once again, like you said, it ain't like they had 35, 40 5-stars running around out there. So they had to do something to get to that point.
What they got.
So now we can talk, they're in the Big 12. We can say that all we want. But they won all the games except for that one. And then they beat a Big 10 team as well, who was a very good team, who hadn't lost any games until they scored 51 points on that team.
Exactly. And see, like, you can't justify, I don't think you can justify putting Bama in there, because it ain't like this was South Florida that only lost 1 game. It was a team in the Big 12. Like, it was a Power 5 conference.
Yeah.
Like, we can't treat them like they're Boise State. You know what I mean? Because they are in the Big 12. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you can't really treat them that way. And, the way Bama played, I personally feel, as an Alabama fan, they didn't deserve to be in. Like, I don't even want to see them crawl in like that, because y'all didn't do what y'all supposed to do. But I'm still so pissed about that LSU game that I feel like they didn't even deserve to be. I don't even want to see them.
That game killed them. But I agree. I mean, they lost the game, so you can't get in, right? But now I just feel like, now this, let me ask y'all this, and we can move on if y'all want this, but do y'all think how important is this next year, and I ain't gonna say upcoming because we got a long time. How important is it to put on a good season? Whether that be win it all, whether that be get there and not win it, whether that be win the SEC, whether that be get to the SEC championship and don't win, whether that be, however,
it's
go
a must.
undefeated or whatever.
It's a must because, like, everybody chirping now that Georgia's taking over and Bama's falling. After a while, yeah, they gonna start believing that too. Like that same confidence ain't gonna be there. So
so you said the Tide gonna start believing that?
Yeah, the Tide gonna start believing that. So like they gotta, like, I feel like next year is you have to make the playoff. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, next year.
That's not even a question.
I think they'll be there.
I don't care, and I don't care who the quarterback is either. So
I don't even think it matters. Because I think if you put Miro back there, I think he's gonna rush.
Yeah,
he gonna run you to the playoff. Like I think he's so dynamic as a runner that he gonna get him there.
So I did want to ask y'all about that, but go ahead and finish though. My bad, but I'm gonna ask y'all about that.
And I think if you put Ty Simpson in there, then he must really be dynamic to beat Miro out, because I know Miro is dynamic with his feet. So if he beat out Miro, then he got a dynamic arm. I know he do. And that team, I feel like with that, all the talent they got on that team, I feel like they have to make it to the college football playoff.
And next season flips for them, right? So this past season, we caught Tennessee on the road, we caught LSU on the road, we caught Ole Miss on the road.
Everything at home.
That flips. Everything is at home this season. So it's set up to cruise to Atlanta. Now it ain't as easy as Georgia's schedule, but I mean,
everybody except Auburn and who else? Auburn,
LSU,
and Arkansas.
LSU at home too.
You talking about home games? Okay, I'm sorry.
I think Arkansas is on the road.
No, Arkansas is at home. They play Arkansas too.
Okay. Yeah, they play that.
I know it's only a couple games.
Yeah. So
actually, no, they go to South Florida.
Oh yeah, they go to South Florida. Texas is at home. They got like 9 home games this season.
So the quarterback, y'all feel comfortable either way. Yeah. Ty Simpson is what?
What you mean?
Classification.
He's a redshirt. He'll be a freshman because he didn't play his 4 games, so he'll be classified as a freshman.
Okay. So if you had a choice, or who you prefer, or does it not matter?
You know how you said about Kirby? At that point, I just leave that up. I don't even worry about it. I just wait on the results.
I got you.
I just wait on the results. Whatever Nick
I feel that.
And I know Nick Saban will win more than I do. So I ain't worried about that. Whatever Nick Saban picked, I don't even care. I just know that whatever he picked, I'm confident in it, because it might end up looking like Tua and Jalen, where Jalen got pulled for Tua. It might end up being one of those situations, but I think Miro can be exactly what Jalen was early. What, if nothing else, he can just run, and he gonna move the chain so many times on 3rd and long and 3rd and short and 3rd and medium that they're gonna score points, because he's gonna move the ball with his feet. So they're gonna win games.
And especially in college football, if you got
especially in college football.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So here's the thing with that, and like you said, Kevin, I was so hoping like that. What game did he play? The Arkansas game.
Mm-hmm.
That the game he started next in Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went into that game. I was hoping. I can't tell y'all how much hope I had that he did well passing the ball, because I know how dynamic he is as a runner. I just I didn't even want him to be great as a passer. I just wanted him to be
decent.
Exactly, just be decent.
Like Jalen was.
Exactly like Jalen was.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't. So I feel like this competition is going to go through the spring. I feel like they're going to battle, because Miro been there and he's dynamic with his legs. So if the play breaks down, he's going to be able to get yards and get first down. But if it has to happen like this, I would hope that he can start. And if Ty Simpson has come in late, like Tua had to, it has to be like that. But I hope both of them are on the roster come fall.
Yeah. I don't think Simpson going away anyway. Because he got and even like if Ty Simpson comes in, like I'm totally confident in him. Like we was talking about the other night, the man is a coach's son. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting there watching his high school film, and then I was watching a little bit of what he did in the spring game. You know what I mean? And I can see what you were saying, Q. Like, dude is I think he's the real deal. Like you can just see how calm he is, like in the pocket, and you know, just like you can just see it. He looked like he got it. You know what I mean? So I ain't tripping either way. Like I feel like they got the quarterbacks on the roster.
I feel like they need, I feel like Mike. I really do feel like they're gonna need both of them for real. If I'm
I got you. I got you.
I just hope now. I hope Miro can progress so much.
I do too.
Over this off season and over the spring.
I hope he go to all the passing camps available, man.
Yeah, that he's just a competent. I hope he go train with Jalen.
Exactly.
Go train with Jalen Hurts, man. Figure out what he did.
Quinn said, I hope he go to all the passing camp.
Go train with Jalen Hurts and figure out what he did to become a better passer, man.
Man,
and I'm telling
you can't beat them legs, man.
Because you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Vince Young, man. If he can just make throws here and there, he reminds me of Vince Young at Texas with the way he can run.
Yeah, man. Because that run he ran in that Arkansas game, bro.
Yeah, because he ain't quarterback fast. No, he football player fast.
Exactly.
Like he running back wide receiver fast.
No,
Jalen's quarterback fast. He's stretched the field fast.
Yeah, he Arian Smith fast, bro. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So, nah, man, you know,
Mike, speaking of quarterbacks, how you feel about yours?
I don't know. I really don't know, Q. That's a great question.
Is Carson Beck the only option?
No, Brock Vandegrift, I know I'm confident in just off of, but Kevin, you know, we share the same sentiment. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at when I watch a high school QB. Bro, like,
you know what? I think, Mike, it ain't even that I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just not
confident in the defenses that they're playing.
The competition level be so low.
Like,
I don't know how these dudes gonna adjust when they get to a higher level. You know what I'm saying?
So that's always my thing. Like, I ain't gonna doubt your talent. I can see that you can throw the football and do things like that, but it's so much more. Like, so even if we take a JT Daniels skill set versus a Stetson Bennett, yeah, I know JT, you can do this and that, but Stetson was able to be calm. Stetson was able to do this and do that. So with Beck, I know he got a huge arm. I know he got talent. He played at an 8A high school in Florida. He was player of the year. So Florida is definitely not full of football chumps. You know what I'm saying? Right. So but you know, this the SEC. But now the thing he has on his side is he has been there. He has been there, right? So, you know, but Brock Vandegrift, man, I like him a lot. You know what I mean? I like him and Gunner. But so, you know, I think it's gonna be wide open. It's gonna be wide open. And I think in today's game, the statuesque quarterback is not the trend, right? So that way Brock and Gunner do move now. They move great. You know what I mean? So, you know, but nah, Q, I don't know. Like I said, I really don't know, man. Like, I just feel like Q, what you put us in surround sound?
Talking into a megaphone.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm Q doing? Huh? Turn the amp down, man. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I've liked what I've seen from Carson Beck on the, you know, but I know he's not the runner that those other two are. I say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got, and listen, you got weapons.
Yeah.
Plenty of them.
Now Todd Monken, will probably do a lot more different stuff because he ain't gonna be able to run like Stetson. You know what I
I
mean?
like his play calling too.
I love his play call.
And improvise. So who knows? You know, he might just curtail the whole thing to keep him comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know though. I really don't. But I mean, you know, that kind of stuff tend to work itself out. You know what I mean? Like those guys get big bucks and way smarter at football than I am. So, you know,
I feel like Kirby's a good enough coach to realize that the schedule he has, he's able to kind of let that competition play into the season.
That too.
Because I feel like that's what he's gonna do. Because I mean, if you're not gonna face any tough games, and I don't feel like they will,
you can see what you got, kind of.
Exactly. See what you got in pressure moments. See what you got leading the team, how the team responds to him, all this stuff. He got time to do all that. So
yeah, and then the thing with both, you got teams like Alabama, Georgia, Michigans, and teams like that have a good defense they can rely on to kind of keep them out of harm's way. You got more wiggle room with that kind of stuff.
Hey, you know who I feel bad for the most? And Quinn, you're not going to agree with this. Tennessee and Auburn. They have to play Georgia and Alabama every year.
Every year. So Jacob Hester was talking about that. I was listening to ESPNU on the radio, and he was saying when the realignment come, Tennessee and Auburn got to put their foot down. Somebody got to go.
Yeah, they got to switch that.
He was like,
got to happen.
He was like, they got to put their foot down and say, hey, look, man, we're not doing this every year.
Every year. Like, there ain't no break.
Hey, man. Hey.
And Tennessee have to play Florida.
Man. Come on, man. Are y'all serious right now?
Yes.
Are y'all serious right now?
That's some bull jive.
I think Auburn got it worse, though.
Bro, they played Georgia, Bama, LSU.
Hey, we didn't make Auburn. Georgia didn't make Auburn a rival. Auburn did that. Alabama wasn't even playing Auburn. Auburn went to the state and sued them to play Alabama. They asked for this, okay? So catch these hands. They asked for it.
I'm just saying, dog. They got it rough, dog. Yeah. Every year, dog.
Hey, man. Probably real. I don't know. I mean, man.
They got it bad. And like I said, Tennessee also have to play Florida.
And Auburn got to play LSU every year, too.
Auburn have to play LSU every year, too.
Alabama got to play LSU. Alabama got to play Tennessee. Alabama got to play Georgia.
But they don't have to play Georgia.
I mean,
it's just if they every so often, and then if they make it to the SEC championship, same with Georgia.
Yeah.
Hey, look. I mean, so. Hey, sometimes you get bad hands in life. What you gonna do? I mean,
that is rough, though, dog.
Mike, what would you? You had a basketball question for us.
Yeah, man.
Let's hit that before we get out of here.
Yeah, I had a basketball question. A basketball NBA question. And real quick, college basketball has been phenomenal. Oh,
bro,
much respect.
Alabama basketball is better than Alabama football right now.
Much respect. They've been balling. Now look, the Bulldogs been hooping too. They dropped They dropped that one against Florida Saturday.
I thought they got 3. They lost 3.
Yeah, I thought they was gonna get Florida. They was leading and they ended up losing that one, but they won against Mississippi State last night. But it's been great. Texas TCU last night was phenomenal. Baylor and some other big two. It was really a lot of good games on last night. But the NBA, of course, just been just as phenomenal. So we have had some historic scoring games this season, bro. I'm talking eye-popping, right? So I've been reading and hearing all this stuff, and some people don't like, I ain't gonna say they don't like it, but they kind of brought it to my attention, did bring it to my attention or whatever, and they were saying that is the scoring a byproduct of bad defense, or is it that we really have that many dynamic great scorers, And is it a kind of disservice to dynamic great scorers?
It is. It's exactly a disrespect to dynamic great scorers, because it's not bad defense in terms of bad head up defense. It's bad defensive schemes. It's, if you like, when you watch an NBA game, you see mismatch after mismatch after mismatch because everybody switched so easy. I was watching Milwaukee the other night. Grayson Allen run up. All he did was tap the defender. He reached his hand out, tapped him, and they switched. That's all he did. He reached out, tapped the defender. He didn't even set a screen. He tapped him, and the two defenders switched. So everything is a mismatch. Like, nobody fights through screens. Everything
that's happening in college too, Kev.
They switch everything. So what you end up with is a dynamic score with a mismatch all the time. You know what I mean? So, like, do you really think Donovan Mitchell is a better scorer than Carmelo Anthony?
No, absolutely.
You really think that?
Nah.
And I think Donovan Mitchell is awesome.
Oh, absolutely, but no.
But do you really think he's a better scorer than Carmelo Anthony?
Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest scorers I ever seen in my life.
Right.
He right there with Mike and Kobe and KD and I didn't see Iceman, but I
was guarded by way better defenders.
Right. You know,
like when you watch these dynamic scores now, you don't see these buckets coming off basically one guy trying to lock them up.
Yeah,
because they all switching. They getting buckets. I'm gonna give you 8. I'm gonna give you 6. I'm gonna give you 10. I'm gonna give you 4.
So that's a good point, Kevin, because I heard, I want to say Sam Mitchell refer to that as far as Kobe scoring 81, and I think Jalen got like 60 something of them.
Yeah.
No disrespect. Yeah. I love you, Jalen Rose.
I mean, it happened, Mike. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
And to the people who would say, well, if you're cooking him like that, then maybe somebody else should try to guard him. If somebody else guarded him, it would have been even worse. Probably had 90.
Yeah.
Nah,
there's no. I'm just.
I get no. I okay.
Because
I just wanted to ask y'all.
But no, the thing is, when I'm watching, I get so frustrated at the amount of switching. Like, for one, all of that switching creates mismatches. Another thing it does, it creates miscommunication. You're switching so much that at the end of the day, somebody's gonna screw up.
Yeah. Well, you know, and Q, I heard you said something about they was in college or something like that as well.
I said just watching the Bama games, a lot of teams been switching on them too. That's why they've been getting a lot of their open shots this past season. And like Kevin said, it's gonna create a mismatch because they're not switching just one time; they're switching 4 and 5 times down the court. So eventually, somebody gonna end up wide open.
Yeah, and you see it. You know, I watched. Of course, I go to a lot of high school because my son played high school, but I see it even in that, right? You know what I mean? So. And you can see it because a lot of times, it's to the point now where they don't even have bigs on the floor, and if they do have a big on the floor, they're gonna get him singled out on that perimeter. Yeah. So I watched it the other night. The high school, you know what I'm saying? Big guy. The big messed around and was on the guard, and immediately coach said, yo, open. Yeah. And you know, guards was having a field day, they had their way. But no, I do understand, you know what I mean? And like you said, we ain't trying to discredit nobody, but at the same time, when you know a great score, when you see a great score, like you say, Carmelo Anthony, when KD can get you 38 off of 14 shots or something like that.
That's the thing. Like, we can visually look at KD, and I hate to keep using Donovan Mitchell, but he just dropped 71. So but you can look at Kevin Durant and look at Donovan Mitchell and see the difference. You can see that Kevin Durant is a better scorer, better player than Donovan Mitchell, even though Donovan Mitchell scores more.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that KD is a better player.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they play these days, Donovan Mitchell gonna get them buckets like that because of what, like the amount of switching that they do is like they don't even try. They don't even try to fight through the screen. They just automatically just switch it.
So I'm gonna tell you something too that is happening on all the levels, right? So, Marcel got a lot of homies still living in Alabama, right? So, all of them around the same age, some older, some younger, whatever. So he watches a lot of, his friends' games on YouTube or whatever, and whatever, however they, he watch a lot of. And man, high schoolers, like, bro, they scoring like 90 and above, like every game almost. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because it's like, dang, like high school 8-minute quarters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't get it, man.
That's
and
some serious scoring, bro.
A lot of it is like it's coming from like one primary score. Like if you go back and watch like the Boston Celtics from 08 to probably 2012 or whatever, you watch how they, if you got a guy like that, like a Kobe Bryant, you watch how they, when him and whoever, Powell or Bynum, whatever, running pick and roll, you watch how they trap Kobe and make him get rid of that ball and make that big man make that decision rather than making Kobe Bryant make that decision. Like even small stuff like that can stop a score, slow down a score.
Them, I'm gonna tell you, them, and during that time frame, the Miami Heat, they was the masters of it. LeBron and Wade would trap.
They was terrible on a perimeter.
Oh my gosh, bro, that's how they beat the Bulls in that series.
Yeah,
because if they
get the
didn't,
ball out of Rose's hands,
Derrick Rose was gonna do whatever he wanted to do.
But now,
they would trap, and then they was running it out high too. Yeah. So they was trapping him out high, and you got to give Noah that basketball up there, or whoever.
Yeah. And by the time you get that ball to Noah and him scan the court and all that, that defense they don't recover it by then.
They was so good defensively. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel you. And then like look at the team scoring.
And I just wonder, like, what am I missing here? Because like, it has to be a reason for these people who getting paid to coach basketball, play basketball, analyze basketball, to continue to do this. Like, I wonder, what am I missing?
I don't know, because I think the Detroit Pistons scored 135 last night. And that ain't no disrespect, these pro teams, but I'm just seeing a lot of teams north of 120. But to me, north of 105 is a lot.
And I understand the rules got a lot to do with it, but at the same time, like the rest of the world follows the NBA. So whatever you see in the NBA, that's what you're going to see. It's going to trickle down to every other level. You know what I mean?
It's wide open.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Is it good or bad? Or just the way it is?
I don't think it's good or bad.
Right.
You know, for me, it's aggravating because I know the type of players that played years ago, and I feel like they get disrespected.
Absolutely.
Because the numbers now are so jaded and so like inflated that these guys aren't getting the respect that they should get. That's the only reason why it bothers me.
So you know that remind me of that conversation we had about Troy Aikman.
Mm-hmm.
And you was like, we can't really just go in on them like that because
you can't really just go by the numbers on it.
Of the way that style of that offense was and everything like that. And they weren't throwing, like, bruh, you literally see quarterbacks that's not top 5 quarterbacks throwing 45 and 50 passes.
Yeah. And I know that can be the case because I hated the Cowboys. And if Troy Aikman was trash, I would have never disliked him.
Right.
Because that's how I could tell when somebody is good or not. Like if I know Tim Duncan is great because I couldn't stand him.
Right.
And he was always winning. You know what I mean?
That's like Alabama right now.
Yeah.
And so they was talking about like Georgia on the cusp of starting to be hate it. Like you mess around and go back in the next 2 years and win, people, I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
Right. So stuff like that. But yeah, I do agree with you. A lot of times the older guys are it's disrespect. I hate that game they play too. I hate that old guy hate new guy hate old guy thing. How about y'all are great and you're all in your regard and just give it up, right?
Yeah.
But
I think it's because of this way the world is now. Everybody got so much access to highlights. Everybody got so much access to social media and all that. You get people who normally wouldn't even have an opinion on this stuff, having an opinion on it, because like people like us, we had to watch basketball the hard way back in the day.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? We had to get the TV guide, or I used to get the newspaper and go through that and figure out when the games was coming on. You know what I mean?
And you got what you got. You got what.
And you got to really love it to do it that way. But now you can watch it so easy that people who aren't really that interested, they always chime in and get you upset over something that they don't even really know what they're talking about. And
too, like you said, anybody can sit there and say, "Oh, I watched his highlights," and
yeah.
Because
that's a lot of it.
Because even like we talking specifically about like basketball and football, but think about like all those other sports. They really get disrespected.
Yeah.
Like, right? Think about like women's basketball. Think about like track and field sports athletes, both men and women. You think about tennis players, right? You think about all those other sports and how disrespected those athletes are because they weren't even televised as much as, you know, the main ones. And I understand why, but I'm just saying, like, you know, people think tennis, and rightfully so, Serena, right? Or you know what I mean? I don't even know the male who, you know what I'm saying? But you get what I mean. Like it's a bit different because I think the way that society is now, me and my man, Maine was talking about this. You got either here or here. People don't respect the role players. People don't respect the guys that aren't household names.
Yeah, man.
Right? Because of all the branding and all that different stuff. You know, you don't respect a Royce O'Neal or like a Tarian Prince, or you know what I'm saying?
Warren.
Yeah, guys like that, or like, you know, those guys, right?
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. Like I said, it's a highlight driven.
Absolutely.
Thing, like everybody watching. Like I was telling y'all the other day, I saw this guy who he was saying it. Jokic was the greatest offensive center of all time. I'm like, I know you saying that because you looked at some stats and you watched some highlights and you saw a couple nice passes. Now, don't get me wrong. We all know he can play. We all know he is a bad boy.
A monster.
But I don't even think he's the best offensive center right now.
Right now.
Like Joel Embiid can do everything on a basketball court. Everything. What does Jokic do better than Embiid besides pass? What does he do better?
He don't dribble better than him. He don't move better than him.
Nope.
He don't shoot better than him.
Nope.
He don't block shots better than him.
Nope.
Not a better defender.
Rebounder. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
And I know he said offensive, but any of
it.
Oh
yeah. Well, any of it.
Like he's not a better offensive center than Hakeem Olajuwon, like by far.
Don't even.
And even if you want to say he's the best passer.
In those 2 years that Jokic won the MVP, those could have easily been Embiid's too.
Easily.
True.
And even if you want to say he's the best passer, okay, well, I saw Arvydas Sabonis.
Absolutely.
I know guys, well, man, that old dude, nah. Arvydas Sabonis was the truth when it comes to passing that basketball. And he didn't even come over when he was young. So was Vlade Divac.
Yeah, Arvydas wasn't even in his bag. Like
he couldn't even move no more. He was 7'3". He could barely move.
Yeah.
What was he? 32, 33 when he finally came over?
Yeah, he was something like that, Q, yeah. And then, you know, you got who else was dishing that rock like that at the center? I mean, you had a ton of them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel you. I mean, it's even with like guards, right? And I probably would agree with, I probably do agree with this when they say Kyrie got the best handles. But like, bro, I saw Isaiah Thomas, dog. Yeah, I saw Tim Hardaway, dog. Like, I saw these dudes. And I think the person that get left out of the handles convo the most is Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
Like, are y'all kidding me?
Man, it's crazy you said that. I was watching his highlights yesterday too. Watching Jamal Crawford highlights. And
dude, it's amazing.
All these people,
bro.
they be like, oh man, dudes these days just do this so much better than dudes did 15, 20 years ago. I'm like, well, you realize Jamal Crawford is the dude you talking about from 15, 20 years ago.
Who just stopped playing.
If you watch his highlights, like, bruh.
And homie had 50 in his last game.
Right.
And he never
started. A guy from a different generation just stopped playing, and Vince Carter. he been out 3-4 years. It ain't been that long.
About 3-4 on that, yeah. And that's what I'm saying, you know, like, and they start talking that handle stuff, White Chocolate, Jason Williams.
It's
like,
a lot of dudes.
Are you kidding?
And I do agree that Kyrie.
Oh, absolutely.
Not only handle. And see, that's why I always tell people, like, I'm not the old guy that just sit here and back in the day. Dude, no, because I think Kyrie might be the single most skilled player I have ever seen step on a basketball court. I've never seen a guy that skilled. Maybe Kobe. But
handling that rock, though.
But handling it, man, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody with the skill set that Kyrie got.
Dog, you forget how tall he's not. He be posting up and doing real post moves, dog. Like, what are you doing?
And he shot off easily.
Yes, he literally be on the block. Like, dog. And then he challenges at the rim. Like, he goes to the rim with the trees, dog.
So here's the thing, and like I said it before, I hate to keep bringing up Donovan Mitchell, but all this scoring that people doing in the NBA these days, do you really think, when it comes down to it, he's a better bucket getter than Kyrie Irving?
That's what make Brooklyn so lethal when you got them two dudes on that basketball court. Like,
if Kyrie Irving, if he wanted to average 30, he would. If he wanted to,
absolutely.
I'm gonna average 30 this season. He's just gonna go do it. You know what I mean?
30, like, 15, if he wanted to.
If that's what he wanted to do.
Easy.
But like the way that teams play these days, it's just like scoring is just inflated by the way the defense is playing.
Because even to that point, you take a guy like KD, he probably could average 40 if he wanted to.
He wanted to. If he was a selfish player,
like he literally,
or if he was on a bad team and just said, I want to get my numbers.
Steph Curry,
at least 35.
Steph Curry can. Dame Lillard, like, cause them type of dudes.
Probably Devin
Booker.
Oh yeah.
Especially with them, because they have that basketball dog and they can do everything.
Yeah. But I just feel like
Bradley Beal too.
They're second tier guys just doing the same thing just because of how the game is played. They playing at the same they're getting the same results that the top tier guys are getting just because of the way the game is played.
Yeah. Cause I think and you know, like you said, we ain't the dudes that's just like, oh, because we saw, you know, the 90s and this and that. Like, nah, dog. Cause it's dudes that was okay in the 90s. This dude is okay now. Dude that was great in the 90s. This dude is great now. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
always my argument, though. That's always my argument when people be like, oh man, Jordan was playing against plumbers and not. You acting like Joe Ingles ain't out there right now playing.
You know what I'm saying?
You acting like Joe Harris ain't out there right now playing. Look at Jordan Niang body. You can't sit there and tell me nothing about no. He was playing against no plumbers because this dude's out there right now that ain't got no business out there.
And listen, imagine some of these dudes getting guarded by or banging with Terry Cummings. Like
or Dale and Antonio Davis.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I just hate the disrespect, dog. It is what it is. Everybody had their time.
My bad, Jordan Yang. I apologize. I shouldn't have said
Nah,
that.
nah.
But I had to,
Yeah, nah.
I
It
had to
went.
bring
Yeah,
these
yeah.
examples
It.
out, man.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
guys, because it was guys trash back then too. Well,
That's
my
what
bad,
I'm
not trash, but it was guys that were
not.
Just
lesser
role
talented
players,
back
man.
then too.
They role players.
Yeah,
That's what they
because
were.
Man.
it was David Wingates back then. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
not. I'm talking about. I'm talking about not even him though. I don't even want to say no names because I don't be wanting to be disrespectful. But I mean, you had like
I mean, but at the same time, we got to get our point across.
Will Purdue.
You had the Will Purdue, you had the Jack Haleys,
Bill
you know
Winningtons.
yeah, you had the Judd Bushelers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Bill Cartwright.
yeah, the Scotty Brookses.
Yeah, like you had no cats. You hear me? So, you know, but you also had like you said, the second tier dudes.
Yeah,
you
you
had
also
Sam
had
Cassell.
the Mark Prices.
You hear me?
You had the Robert Packs, the Terrell Brandons.
Craig Elo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hornacek. Like you had guys that was just as important though. Eddie Johnsons and Dale Ellis's.
Hersey Hawkins. Who you say, Q?
Steve Kerr.
Kerr used to wet that thing.
So is Kerr is who?
Joe Harris. Or Kyle Korver, but I know Korver don't play no more, but
I don't know.
I think the last great spot up shooter that we saw was Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know if we've seen a spot up shooter of Steve Kerr's caliber since Kyle Korver.
Who is Avery Johnson in today's game?
Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Mike Conley's a little better.
Yeah, he a little better scorer.
But
yeah, that's a good one. But just like you said, Conley probably better score, but as far as leading and just a
Board general.
Yeah, bro. Like you just
he didn't rebound much, but he was a big part of that championship team.
You need them dudes, but Conley score a little better. Conley probably score more. I ain't gonna, because Avery Johnson probably could score.
Could you
more.
say Rondo?
Ooh, that may be better.
Even though Rondo ain't really, he ain't playing like. But
I feel that though. That's a.
We'll just say in the last few years, not necessarily playing now, but in recent years.
Yeah, I probably go Rondo over Conley because
Think so?
he ain't really looked at the score like that. Conley is actually a scoring option.
Yeah, Conley's like a 14 to 18 point per game player.
Who is Draymond?
Anthony Mason.
He don't score like Mace.
He don't score like Mace.
Go to Mace.
And he don't pass. Mace don't pass as well as Draymond.
I know it's obvious, but I think he's
what was the other guy on that team? I can't think of his name. The other dude that liked to fight on that Knicks team.
Charles
Oakley?
Yeah, Charles Oakley.
Oh, Oakley.
Well, see, Oakley
Charles
didn't.
Smith and Charles Oakley used to like to fight.
But Oakley didn't do as much as Draymond. Like Draymond get that ball, get it out on the break, pass the basketball, initiate offense. Yeah. But I get the premise though, Q, because.
So are you saying as a player or just from like a mentality standpoint?
Well, mentality Q spot on with the Oakley.
I was thinking more mentality.
Yeah, mentality Q is like spot on with the Oakley. But as far as a player,
Rodman though.
Player or mentality?
Yeah, because Rodman used to kick it out too on run. So yeah, Rodman. I think Draymond don't really score that
Rodman
much.
didn't so much dribble or initiate offense, but he was hell on the fast break in transition, especially with the Pistons, because he could run his ass off like a deer.
That boy he got to do the crazy layups or just dunk that ball real hard.
I think people forget that when he was with
them
the
biker
Pistons.
shorts on.
Yeah, Rodman used to be out.
Man, out of there, dog.
I don't know if I can think of a good comp for Draymond.
I can't either because everybody that had some of the tools that he did offensively probably scored a little better than him.
Yeah.
But he probably rebounded and defend a little better than, you know what I mean? Like, because you definitely can't say like no Antoine Walker now because we know I'm playing number 8 guy.
Antoine wasn't playing on defense like that.
Nah.
He got to get them buckets.
He got them buckets, dog. You hear me?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know though.
Oh man, I'm gonna be thinking about that all night, Q.
It's just I don't really know. Like you can't really like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can see why you said Mason, just because
Mace was
Mason that could handle the rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could rebound. He was strong.
Rebound, strong.
I can see that,
Kind of looked like him too.
But the only difference is Mace was a way better scorer.
I was gonna
Yeah, he
say Mace used to shoot that 15-footer with
Yeah.
super
It was
confidence.
ugly too, but he used to knock it down.
Yeah, it was. Dang.
I was wondering if you're gonna bring that shot up, kid.
Yeah, you know how I feel about ugly shots. That's why I don't really rock with Tyrese Halliburton like that.
Hey,
he
yo,
be knocking him down. I hate to see him shoot too, because he be knocking him down.
it's weird, but he be hitting them joint.
Yeah,
I be wondering what guys like how did that start? Like how did you get this shot and why didn't nobody correct it?
It started from a kid and because it was natural and they was hitting it, nobody ever changed it.
But who look like that though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't look to the right and be like, dang, bro. Like,
but you know
I
what I
shoot
realized
like him.
though?
Like Jermaine don't shoot like this, huh?
You know what I realized? Some people don't know that they don't look like that. So it's because I get this from my wife, right? She can do all the little dance moves, all the choreographed stuff and all of that. And I be telling her, I can't do it. I can look at somebody and try to do it, but when I do it, it don't look like that. So
Right.
I might think that I'm doing the dance, but I'm really not. So they probably thinking they form look a certain way, but it really don't look like how it's supposed to look.
Yo, cause like it's nowhere in the world like with some of the shots you see, it's like, bro, somebody play on your team or at the Wild, wherever you playing at, and like cats just don't look like that right there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you remember that? You remember that day, Kevin, we was at the Rick in Atlanta, me, you, and Calvin.
Yeah.
And that dude like had he kept winning. He kept hitting game point.
Yeah.
And it was terrible, dog.
I hate it, bro.
You remember that, John?
Yeah, I know he's talking about.
Bruh, Q, this dude, I'm talking about, it seemed like he hit every game winning shot. And it was the free throw line, dog. And he was just like, I mean, it was terrible. But I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah. But nah, man, that with the scoring stuff, like you say, man, it kind of is what it is. I ain't tripping.
I got it. Let's get back on that question Q that came up with, man.
What that?
I'm trying to figure out who Draymond play like. I don't know if I ever seen nobody play like that.
Oh, who Draymond is?
I can see a player in my head. I just can't put the uniform on him, and I can't put the name on him.
Draymond.
Because you can't say.
So you got a defender.
Would you say, wait. No, Charles Barkley was a much better scorer.
No. He was
beast.
Way better.
Yeah.
But see, you got to be able to handle the rock and initiate offense, but you can't shoot.
Yeah.
And then you have to be a great defender.
Great defender.
Yeah. Can defend all 5 spots.
Be able to pass.
See, like you can't compare him to Scotty because Scotty could score.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy. And I'm trying to think of like all kind of things.
I was gonna say AC Green.
He can't be a unicorn.
Oh my God.
It's gotta be one.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody to play like that before.
Maybe you got to go back past the 90s.
Not Robert Horry.
Nah. I got to pull up the NBA, like all the teams and everything. I pull up the teams and logos. It might help me out. Because, yeah, that's crazy.
Is Draymond an alien?
Yeah, he might be a unicorn.
Right? Like,
no, that's tough.
It really is.
I'll be honest with y'all. I didn't really start paying attention to Draymond Green until I saw him play that game on the ship against North Carolina that year. That's when I really started paying attention to him.
Well, I watched him at Michigan State.
Yeah, I watched, but I didn't really see him as like the player that he is now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got you.
I thought he would get to the league, and I thought he would be serviceable, but I didn't foresee him having an impact like he is now. That could be because of the team he's on with the greatest shooter of all time, or 2 of the greatest shooters of all time. But he has a real impact on that team and them championships they won.
Absolutely.
I didn't see that out of him coming out of college.
Nah, I definitely, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that
No, man.
1,000.
I think the closest thing is Rodney.
George Lynch. Nah, I'm just playing. I can't think. I can't think of anybody.
Okay, so with that question being asked, I got one more for you before we get out of here. Who is the most unique player that you've ever seen?
Zion Williamson.
Think so? I think that's Barkley though.
I don't, bro. Like Zion body don't fit out there. Zion should have been on that in that 65-7 Monday night, like or something like that. That's Darnell Washington, bro.
No, I get it, but I feel like I've seen that before. Like
No,
I've seen Larry Johnson and Charles Barkley.
Not,
I mean, it's not exactly the same, but that's the same type.
Kevin, he is ridiculous though.
No, I get it.
Now I think
think about it.
God, let this young man stay healthy so we can just get the whole thing. But because I was finna say, I don't think like he the scorer Barkley is, but I can't say that because I haven't got a consistent enough dose. Because when he plays, go out there and score 30 and 28 and what he had 41 time or something this year, and he rebounded the basketball, he pushed the basketball, he passed the basketball, he blocked shots. No, he can't, Q.
Yeah, he can.
He can't shoot yet. He working.
He shot in his first game ever.
He got a little turnaround now that looks so nice.
I mean, I don't know, man. He for me, I think Zion for me, man.
I think Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
but that's Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, Kevin, that's
You know what I mean? Granted, he's bigger than
Hakeem is bigger with more range.
He's bigger than him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He bigger than him, granted. And Hakeem, like you say, with more range.
I won't say LeBron because that's like cliche.
Well, I mean,
wait a minute.
I
myself was thinking, bro, I wasn't gonna say it, Kevin, because I know how you like to bump heads about that. But I mean, if you're just really thinking about it, I mean,
him and KD for real though.
Yeah, I would say him and KD, and I would give Zion that too. But like you said, Mike, let's hope that Zion can average 60 games over the next 4 seasons. 60 games over the next 4 seasons healthy.
It's so scary. It's scary.
Let me ask you this specifically, Mike, because you said you don't think that Zion is a centerpiece for an organization. You still feel that way?
I do, because he ain't available.
But I mean,
I was turning the corner.
So that's the only reason.
But then, you know what I'm saying?
But see, because you and Quinn both said y'all don't think he that dude, and I get if you saying
he was impressing me though
because of availability. Then I get that.
But see, Kevin, okay, let's throw the availability out. He was impressing the heck out of me, right? Okay. So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Because of course you're not wanting to win. Hey, I want all these guys to, you know. So I'm like, okay, but then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something, and I know that's beyond.
You're right.
But but like what you said, Quinn, 60 games.
See, I just want to average 60 over the next 3-4 seasons.
And you give me what I've been seeing. I'm on board.
It's strictly an availability thing for me. That's my only hit.
Because I'm telling you, what he been doing this year.
He had me
been doing that
when he blew out that shoe at Duke. When he blew out that, he been doing that from the jump. I was hooked.
But Kevin, we ain't synced them. You know what I'm saying?
I was just saying, like when we brought this up, that from the jump, that efficiency been up here, the scoring been up. Only thing that I could say is he probably could rebound a little better, but other than that, I feel like it's been there.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, healthy. I'm with him, straight up. But as far as the unique guy, yeah, probably have to go LeBron and KD because we ain't really never like Dirk was big, could shoot and post, but he couldn't do what that guy do.
Definitely KD can, and that's why I get so upset when every time I see a college basketball player or a high school player, just 6'9", 6'10", they want to compare him to KD. There's one KD.
That dude different.
One KD. How about let's start with Paul George. Let's say that he's comparable to Paul George. Next time y'all want to bring up a guy that's 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", that's athletic, that can handle the ball and shoot, start with Paul George. Let's start right there.
KD different.
Brandon Ingram.
But see, they like to do the KD and LeBron. No. Dang. Like them dudes.
You're not gonna see another one of those.
Them dudes in another bubble. They over there with Mike and Kobe and them boys.
There's one of those.
Yeah, them boys different. So
if somebody else is gonna be great, they're gonna be great in their own right in a different way.
In a different way. Like that. In a different way. So, but yeah, I'm actually anxious to see when Zion get back. CJ McCollum been going absolutely bananas. Ooh. Y'all know I love CJ, but
Brandon Ingram been out a lot this year too.
Yeah, when he supposed to come back?
That team ain't even healthy. And did he have like a concussion or something earlier in the season?
He had he had a concussion, and then he hurt like his hamstring or something. He ain't got no meat on that thing. Boy, get on back out though. Nah, I'm just playing. I like B.I. though, but
I came around on bringing. I used to give him a hard time. But
yeah. You ain't like my guy B.I.
I gave B.I. a hard time. I said the man was a bench player and everything.
Yeah.
I can admit when I'm wrong. I ain't like some folks.
You say you can admit when he's wrong?
I can. Hey, it ain't very often, but yeah, I can.
Hey, well, we'll talk about it in depth next week. The NBA, we got plenty of time. My boy KD got hurt, but I think they'll be okay this time. Last year, they had so much going on. When he got hurt, it was bad.
They fell off the mountain last year when he went down.
Boy, they went.
And they never recovered.
But I think this year what's going to help too is they games, like they spreading them games out.
Yeah.
So he won't miss as many games. He'll miss the time, but he won't miss as much games. So I think that'll help him out. Real quick, the wild card weekend. Who y'all got? It's kind of jacked up, right? Yeah. No Tua, no Lamar. I don't expect Baltimore.
Let me ask y'all something about that real quick before we make the pick. Do y'all think that Lamar is intentionally not playing because of contract?
I'm not gonna say he is. I'm not gonna say he ain't. But I'm gonna tell you like this: I feel him.
I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure he's being as cautious as possible.
Absolutely.
If he ain't 100% and he ain't ready, ain't no sense in going out there.
And you know what? I don't blame him because
you can't.
If you go out there and get hurt, they're gonna be quick to not offer him a contract. So,
and they just gave Rowe $100 million. Shout out to Rowe.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, you see his numbers the first 5 years. He's up there with Ray Lewis for the first 5 years.
Man, this Roquan a beast, dog. Roquan is a beast.
He a quiet beast too. That's why I like him.
I love Rowe, man. I love him, man. He gonna give you everything he got.
I think most of these games are pretty easy to pick.
right. Like I'm talking about, it ain't even like tough at all, dog.
So I think I'm gonna pick. So I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna go San Fran, Minnesota. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay over the Cowboys.
I am too. Yep.
We all there.
Buffalo, Cincinnati. I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
I think that's what I'm on the fence with that Jacksonville game. That's my only difference from you. I'm still 50-50 on that Jacksonville.
I am too, but I want to see Jacksonville win. So that's what.
Me too.
I wish they had Calvin Ridley.
I thought about that yesterday when I was at
He
the
should
gym.
have. All this other
Yeah.
stuff people don't get suspended
I
for.
know, right?
Man, for real, dog. That's what I was thinking about. And Quinn, when you said that earlier though this year, I'm like,
But you know how that go.
FanDuel, man.
I'm
It's
like, you're
FanDuel.
right.
Anything got to do with that money, boy, they
FanDuel.
fall on it. But
It's
that ain't
just-
even like
No,
that's nothing.
they played that, man, but it's all good. But yeah, I'm right there with you. What you said, Q? I think I went with everybody. Kevin went you went
Yeah.
49ers, Jags, Bills. You went Vikings.
I don't know about the Vikings, man. They've been terrible lately.
They have, but at home,
Giants.
they're playing at home, and I don't think homeboy ready for that yet.
Yeah, I ain't trusting Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
I know Kirk.
Now they got a good defense though. The Giants
I
do.
don't trust Kirk Cousins either, but I trust him more than I trust Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Well, at the crib, you know what I mean. Like if they was playing in New York, I don't know. I probably might go with them. And I'm definitely going Cincinnati. I don't even know if with Lamar they could beat them.
Yeah,
but definitely
especially right now the way they playing.
Without Lamar, now that defense been lights out. They just ain't got no offense to complement it, Doc. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm hoping for that neutral site game that they got to play in Atlanta. If the Bills and Chiefs make it to the AFC Championship game,
How y'all feel about that?
I mean, I had to do something. Like they decided basically not to play their game. So, and that's what the situation is about, right?
Yeah,
with them not being able to decide the home field advantage or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of. I know a lot of people were tight about it, but I mean, once
what
again,
else can you do, man? It's the only thing.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, Q, where it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Somebody gonna be mad anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like
You can't expect them dudes, despite what Skip Bayless say, you can't expect them dudes to go out there on the field and play after their teammate almost just died in front of them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
And the other team too, because they saw the same thing. So
Absolutely, man. But yeah, I'm with you, and I'm taking the Bucks over the Cowboys as well. The Cowboys look like pure D shit.
Dak Prescott, especially.
Oh my goodness. Washington, I know they're like, man, if they'd have beat they needed to win that Giants game. If they'd have won that Giants game, that Sunday night game, they'd have been fine. But yeah, I think Cowboys, man, they're gonna cowboy anyway. Even if they win, they're gonna lose the next week. I
kind of wish the Cowboys would get to the Eagles so Hurts can put them paws on Parsons. Talking about him like that, but
word. But it's all good, man. I just they gonna lose. If they don't lose to Tampa, they're gonna lose. I'm gonna tell y'all and then I know we gotta go. But how y'all feel about teams under 500 making the playoffs?
I mean, it was bound to happen when they expanded it.
Yeah, man, had the league make the playoffs anyway, so somebody got to.
That just bothered me.
Yeah, when you expand the playoffs and you add an extra game to the schedule,
Right.
it was
Doing too much. Doing too much.
They got 14 teams in the playoffs. So
how many teams make the playoffs in the NBA?
16.
That's half of them too, right?
Yeah, that's over half.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. How many teams used to make the NBA playoffs? Win it 8?
There's always been 8.
On each side.
Back in the day, you talking about all together? Yeah.
I'm talking about all together.
Yeah. Yeah, but they ain't have like 12 teams.
Yeah, they ain't have, but yeah. I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
But that thing be that thing. So y'all not in the runnings for Cliff? Y'all want Cliff? Who y'all want to be that OC?
Cliff got a little innovation to him, man. I that's the kind of coordinators I like.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I brought him up a long time ago before he even got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cliff would be my dream coach right now because I feel like we can get him for 2 years before he starts looking for that next job. That'll give him time to repair his image and everything. He put out 2 dynamic offenses in a row, 2 years in a row.
We get the running reps.
Yeah, we get 1, possibly 2 national championships out of him. I mean,
We'll see
Mike
how.
said, uh-oh.
Hey,
Hey, Mike got his chest stuck out now.
hey man,
Exactly.
listen.
Uh-oh, y'all got to
Listen.
come through us.
Hey,
Getting greedy.
hey man, look, man. Hey, I'm just enjoying the view from here. Y'all know how this look.
We
You
need to
feel
go and get Showman from Georgia though for the defense. That's what we need to go get.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like,
said that.
why you be trying to break up happy homes, bro? Everybody is chilling, bro. Hey, Lincoln Riley, brother.
Oh no, we saw him Monday. No, thank you.
He went to TCU. I mean, he went to Clemson.
Well, good for Clemson.
Schumann ain't even he the co-defensive coordinator out there.
Exactly.
Mike, they ain't getting a full
real.
job. Hey, let him come on over.
That's how good he eating over there. Huh? Yeah, man. That's how good he eating over there, man. We'll talk about. We got plenty of time to talk about that. We're gonna talk about the college football expansion a little bit. We'll talk about that. Oh, I did want to say, shout out to Bronny. He had a senior night. My daughter, man, somebody told me, they be all on that social media. Same folks hating on the man. He only this because this and this. Shut up.
That's what I'm saying, man. The dude already got like pressure that ain't his fault on him because of his father, man.
Listen.
And he don't do nothing. He ain't out in the streets. He just playing basketball because it come natural to him. I mean, what you want him to do?
The boy this is a kid. Why are we messing? Leave that boy alone. My daddy is LeBron James and my mom is Savannah James. And you know what? If I was in the I'd say, I'm so glad to be their son.
Exactly.
Whatever you say, I'm only this because of him. I'm only this because of him. Yep. Him, nope, I ain't even that it's because of God. That's what he made me their child. That's my mom and dad. But I just get sick of it. But shout out to Bronny, man. Haters gonna hate. Prayers for Tristan Thompson. His mom's passed away. She had a heart attack. Man, that's tough. People talking.
I saw that, man. He done been through enough already, man.
They was talking disgusting to him.
Of course.
I mean, what are we doing out here? Right? But, prayers for Tristan Thompson, man. Talking disgusting to him, talking disgusting about the man moms, talking about his ex-wife or whatever they were situation, Kardashian. It's just like, why? What have these people done to you to make you want to just talk ugly to these folks? You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. It's just crazy. You don't even know these people. These people don't know you. So, but prayers to Tristan Thompson and his fam. Prayers for Peyton Hillis, man. And much respect and salute to Peyton Hillis. Q, explain what happened, man.
So him and his kid and his neighbor's kid was in the I think it was in the ocean or a beach somewhere. Mm-hmm. And they got out they went out and they got in one of them undertows, right?
Right.
And he had to go out there and get them, man. And he got them out. They were fine, but in getting them out, he had taken in too much water. And it almost took him out, man.
Yeah, I saw he was off of the
ventilator, today.
Yeah, man, that's scary, man. But that's a valiant and brave thing. I mean, you're not gonna, find nothing more scary than thinking your child in danger, and then another kid that's with you. Or you responsible for, man. So I respect and salute the hell out of Peyton Hillis for that, man, and get well. You know what I mean, man? That's to be commended for sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, and Hamlin out of the hospital and everything like that, man. And I see a lot of people did a lot of good things for his foundation and stuff. So salute to that and respect to that, man. And keep getting better and things like that, man. And yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Steph Curry came back too the other night. It was last night. One of them nights. They had a tough night. Q, you going to the Alamo Dome tomorrow, brother?
Man, I knew about it, but I forgot about it. And I didn't get in enough to get a good ticket because if you don't get a good ticket when a basketball game is at the Alamo Dome, you're gonna need binoculars to see it.
I saw like the largest crowd in NBA history.
Dude, so the AT&T Center can sit a max of 30,000. That's their home court now.
Right.
You can get 65,000 in the Alamo Dome because it was built to play. It was built for football, right? They put as many people as they can in there. Yeah, so if you don't get your tickets,
gotcha. Okay.
Dude, if you don't get your ticket early, don't even bother.
This is over with.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out why they doing it though. I ain't been able to find that yet.
Well, that's why I asked you earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Sell 60,000 tickets and make more money.
Yeah. It's simple as that for real.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that many people are going though, because the Alamo Dome is really a football venue that they turn into a basketball venue. So it's not great seating. It's not great sight lines in it.
Because it's high up or what? Or the angles and everything.
High up and it's spread out a lot. So so think about a football field and think about a basketball court sitting in the middle of it. That's the way they're gonna have it set up tomorrow.
Okay. Man. Well, I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of fun. Probably have a lot of.
It's gonna be live down there. I just wish I would have got a ticket early so I can get a good seat. But once I saw the only ones available was half a mile away.
It ain't even worth it.
Nah.
You go down there and get some tacos and go back home.
Oh, I do that anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, put my sombrero on, Nico.
Yeah, hey, that's a nice one you got there.
Hey, kid, what you call me? You gonna say it? What you call
me? We'll say that when we get off camera.
Oh man, that's what's up though. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Okay. Whole Bama got this weekend. That sounds funny saying that about
LSU.
Oh wow.
At home. It sold out last week.
Dang, for real.
Hopefully we can keep selling out so we can get this new arena so we can keep Oats around.
I see UConn and South Carolina women's already sold out. They're playing up in Connecticut. And did I send y'all that? Yo, it's a 5'7" girl. She committed to South Carolina. She's from South Carolina. She in the game, bro, bounced that mug out the floor and dunked that joint, yo.
Oh, I saw that.
5'7". My cousin sent it to me. I'm like, yo. 5'7".
Mike, I didn't know what she was doing. She bounced it and she leapt and she just kept going. And
I was like, okay. Yeah.
Duncan.
Yeah. She from is she from Columbia? I know she's from South Carolina, somewhere down there, but she going to South Carolina. But I'm like, damn, okay, that's what's up. Yeah, okay. Well, man, that season came and went, didn't it? College football.
Fast.
Yeah. It was fun.
Of course it was for you.
For some of us.
Yeah, for some of you, it was fun.
Y'all can't say every week was bad.
It was fun.
Y'all ain't enjoy it.
Now listen, was aggravating as hell.
I know y'all would have rather been in what's the name, and I ain't trying to be funny. But y'all can't tell me y'all ain't enjoy what Bryce did in that dang on Sugar Bowl.
I wish he wouldn't even play.
You are look at this Ebenezer Scrooge.
That's what me and Kevin differ. I'm glad him and Will played because I feel like they can use that game going into the offseason. Coach can use that as a coaching point. I feel like that's going to lead them into the offseason, into the spring. I'm glad they played. I'm glad they stayed healthy. On the other side
I wish they wouldn't have played. For one, thank God they didn't get hurt.
Right.
For two, I wanted to see what the other two quarterbacks were like.
That why
I didn't care about that. I wanted to end with a win.
I did because that's how I was able to assess Mac Jones and what he was going to be like that next year.
But Tua was a sacrificial lamb in that. He got hurt.
We had seen Mac Jones already though.
And when?
In the Auburn game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I said in the last two games.
But see that was a one game situation. I didn't want to see him in that. I wanted to get a win.
Yeah.
But
it happened.
So you ain't enjoy that game, Kevin? Look at this dude,
I
man.
mean, it's not.
See, Mike, they want me and Kevin
Look.
start.
Hey, for
Hey, look,
everybody
man,
out there that listen, this when Kevin and Q be getting spicy on the text.
It's
I wish I could show y'all. They be going at it on the text, but
it's national championship or bust, and that was just. I mean, cool. We got to win, like Quinn said, going into next year, but that don't excite me. Like,
so wait, am I about to start acting like y'all?
you might.
No, Mike, because you got sense, unlike Kevin Well when it comes to something.
So Kevin,
Yeah.
what if Bama don't win the Natty next year? Where are you at with that?
They don't win 3 years without winning it before.
What if they don't make the CFP?
But they had Kevin when they went 3 without winning. They only went 2.
Yeah, I don't know about 3,
15.
Kevin.
Okay, so they won in 17.
Yeah, they beat Clemson.
17.
They beat Clemson. They lost to Clemson. They beat Georgia.
And then they didn't win again until 20.
20. Yeah. So what if they don't make the CFP?
Oh, then oh my God. I might pass out.
Want me to send you some Ugga gear?
You might have to do something.
Quinn will beat your ass.
I'd be sick.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I just say, see, I mean, you might put me some Auburn stuff after that.
I'd be sick.
So
I might literally pass out if they don't make the college football.
I can't see them not making the college football playoff. But I'm gonna ask y'all this: were y'all surprised? And I know we gotta go. Were y'all surprised at how the season went?
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Surprised at what, Mike? What you say?
How the season went for Alabama.
Oh yeah, definitely surprised because I felt like after what happened last season, I felt like we had Bryce again in his prime, sophomore, third year in the system.
Yeah,
we had all those people on defense returning.
Yeah,
and I felt like if they were just put in a position to win, sorry about that, then they would have been good, and they just wasn't.
Because they only lost Battle, right?
Oh, in the secondary?
No,
on
Battle
defense.
Was there.
Yeah, he was there.
What's the other? What's the
secondary return?
No. What's the other? The linebacker. Battle was the one who had the pick six in the Georgia game.
They lost Harris.
Christian Harris. Yeah,
he bought out in Houston too.
Yeah, Christian Harris. That's why. So which one had the pick six? Battle had the pick six in the SEC championship, though, right? Yeah.
That was Battle that had it. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So y'all was surprised. Okay. Now I was asking because I know, go down there to Alabama every summer, so they was on my head telling me what stamps and been it wasn't. Sounded like a bunch of cues and telling me that they was gonna beat Georgia in the joint. But I did think it was gonna be Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship, and they was like telling me a lot of the same things. You know what I mean? Because my man Glenn, he from Tuscaloosa, so there's that, right? So he is, so he was telling me, and we gotta get Glenn on the pod too. Oh my God, I don't know if I can handle that. Tie overload. But I mean, he just like y'all. He love it.
Him and Quinn both might jump on me. You know how I get when I get telling the truth. Quinn don't like that.
But
it's just truth when it come out Wales' mouth.
That's right.
He pretty realistic though.
Mike don't be blowing no smoke up his tail.
He pretty realistic, but no.
I think I'm realistic. Quinn a fanboy. He just
Quinn.
Oh,
Quinn Nicholas.
See how you do, Mike? See how you do?
Quinn.
Yo, Mike, but to answer your question, it's playoff or bust. Not saying they got to win it all, but they at least got to make it. That'll let me know that they're progressing from this season. And then if they don't win it next year, I expect the same quarterback to be there. Like if it's Ty Simpson or Miro, I expect him to go into that season as a season quarterback. All the receivers will be a year older. All those offensive line will be a year older because we'll have a real young offensive line next season.
Okay.
So it's playoff or bust next season.
So they don't have to win it all, just make the playoffs.
Yeah, if they make it to the playoffs, win it. See, here's the thing. They can't lose during the regular season because they're going to meet Georgia in the SEC championship game undefeated. So that's the only way that'll happen. Because I feel like Georgia's going to go through the season undefeated and be in Atlanta anyway. So I feel like it's going to be 2 undefeated teams out. Bama versus Jordan. I feel like both of them gonna make the playoffs again.
Okay. All right. And we'll wait to get deeper because we wait so far off. We don't know who gonna what, but okay. All right. Well, like I say,
What about you for Georgia though, Mike?
I was gonna tell y'all, I wasn't shocked with this season. I was and I wasn't, right? Because I expected the offense to be better. But the defense, I expected to be good, but I didn't expect them to be as good as they turned out to be. I thought they would be good because you returned a lot on that defensive line. I was worried about losing Lewis Seen. Like, you lose a guy like that, like, you understand? But you had Chris Smith still there. William Poole ended up moving on. So Dan Jackson got hurt. But I was comfortable, Nolan Smith, but I just wasn't
worried about
expecting.
the linebackers after Smith got hurt.
Yeah,
they can hold up.
I ain't gonna lie, Q. I was a little worried. And then you had Robert Bill played big. You know what I mean? So
Williams.
but I ain't gonna lie, Q. Yeah, I expected the offense to be better. Like I say, the defense, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I was just expecting them to come out there and play like that. I'm not gonna lie. But I was expecting them to be in the mix though, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here and act like I was expecting them to go undefeated. I was worried about Tennessee. Before the season, I was worried about Kentucky. After the season started, Kentucky kind of had their issues, so I went. But I was worried about Tennessee. I thought we would play, I ain't gonna lie, Alabama in the SEC championship, and Bryce scared me to death. But I thought, you could kind of. For me, I was scared of Bryce, but I knew it wasn't no J-Mo out there, right? So I was like, but but when you playing a team that good, everybody kind of rise.
Anybody can pop off,
yeah, man. So I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of expecting to be in the mix, be in the SEC championship. Now, once they got rolling, I was like, okay, I can see this thing coming to a back to back, you know. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Once Bryce was out the way, I felt very confident. once it was no Bryce in sight for my guys.
Because there wasn't another Bryce out there for you to run into. So what you ran into
it.
What I think was the second best quarterback.
them two quarterbacks. It was three quarterbacks I was worried about. Bryce, CJ, and Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
But I wasn't worried about USC's defense. Their defense wouldn't have been able to do nothing. But
that'd attract me. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But Caleb Williams he ridiculous too. So, but yeah. So, hopefully, man, you know what I mean? Carson Beck somewhere throwing out routes right now or whatever it is he need to do.
He done been in that system, man. He know what it takes and what he got to do, or he ain't gonna see the field.
You got that right. You got that right. So yeah, man. Now we'll see, man. But shout out, go Dogs! Congratulations on a perfect season. Q predicted it. And yeah, man, go Dogs, man. And it's been a good 365 days,
Alabama basketball school anyway.
Alabama State. Yeah. But no, that's what's up, man. Oh, and appreciate you, Steady B, man. Man, appreciate you, dog. But that's all we got for this week, y'all.
Let that Social Security check,
Hey, man, Steady finna get a shot. Hey, you was on me and Kevin top, but hey, Steady finna get a shot. We ain't got time to go into that, but Steady finna get a shot.
We'll talk about that around combine time.
We will. Steady go out there and run that Nah, but that's all we got, y'all. For this week. Y'all be cool, be easy, man. We'll get back at y'all next week. Like, subscribe, share. We everywhere. You know what it is. All the socials and all that. Like it, love it, hate it, whatever you want to do. But we'll get back at y'all next week. Till then, peace out.
Go Dogs.
Hey, now.